President William Ruto now says the country has overcome a situation of debt distress after paying off $1.5 billion worth of debt of the magnitude of $2 billion Eurobond. Now, Ruto, who spoke in Naivasha, says courtesy of sound economic and monetary policy interventions, the country is now on a path of economic prosperity. Ruto cited the appreciation of the Kenya shilling against major global currencies as a major success as it reduces the country's debt exposure by more than 700 billion shillings. Let's get more from our very own Sam Gituku.
Last week, the government secured a $1.5 billion Eurobond at a record high interest rate of 9.75%, which was intended for buying back the maturing $2 billion Eurobond. Even though the debt matures in June 2024, President Ruto now says it has been settled.
The successful execution of both the buyback and the new bond issue demonstrates strong investor confidence in Kenya through the international capital markets, and a vote of confidence in the government's overall economic management, particularly our public debt management strategy.
For the last 2 weeks, the shilling has been on a steady appreciation against major global currencies, now exchanging at 142 shillings against the dollar, a progressive gain from 160 shillings on the 9th of February, according to official figures of the Central Bank of Kenya. According to the CBK, the public debt stood at 11.1 trillion shillings in December 2023. This comprised 5 trillion shillings of domestic debt, which is Kenya shilling denominated. Over 6 trillion shillings was in form of external debt, majorly dollar denominated. At the time, the external debt stood at $38.9 billion. The applying exchange rate was 156 shillings against the dollar. And now, with the shilling gaining to 142 shillings, the same $38.9 billion will translate to just over 5.5 trillion shillings. The foreign exchange has lowered the December debt by more than $500 billion.
In turn, this has reduced our overall debt by Kenya shillings 722 billion, and also reduced our debt service costs by Kenya shillings 195 billion over the next years, saving the country a total of almost $1 trillion.
President Ruto says the 2-week turn of events is the product of diligent and consistent steps by the government that now pave the way for economic turnaround.
Our economy is on a trajectory that will create more jobs and more wealth, finance investment in goods and services, and usher this nation into the era of inclusive growth.
Sam Gituku, Citizen TV, Nairobi.